Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nayri, also known as Wedding Fashion Expert. This week, we are talking about a subscriber requested topic on how to become a bridal stylist in a bridal shop. Before we dive into this week's topic, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, drop me a comment below, let me know if you have any questions, comments, anything you'd like me to create a video on for you. I am here for you, guiding you along the way leading up to your special day. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. I am so honored that you have found me. I am, of course, a wedding fashion expert, stylist, buyer, wear so many different hats at LOVELLA Bridal, located in Los Angeles, California. For daily content, please be sure to follow us on Instagram at LOVELLA Bridal, at LOVELLA Plus, and at Wedding Fashion Expert. And don't forget to hit the follow button on TikTok at LOVELLA Bridal and at Wedding Fashion Expert. For this week's topic, Esther wrote in asking if I could make a video talking about tips to become a consultant or how to work at a bridal boutique. This is such a great question, and I actually get asked this quite a bit, so I'm so happy to talk about it with all of you today. When it comes to being a bridal stylist, it's interesting because there isn't any way in which you can get experience until you literally dive right in to a bridal store. So let's first start with how you would get the job. Depends on what the stores are looking for. So we at LOVELLA Bridal, we are looking for people who have not necessarily had previous bridal experience, but have experience in fashion, like working with people. We are also not necessarily looking for someone who thinks that wedding dresses, trying them on all day is a fantasy. If you are the type of person that just gets so enamored and excited about wedding dresses, and I've always dreamt of my wedding since I was a little girl, and I just want to play dress up all day. I'm so sorry to ruin the fantasy for you, but working in a bridal store is not like the little girl that gets to play dress up all day. I actually feel a lot of times people belittle what I do for a living because they think, well, that's not really a career. You literally play dress up all day. And that's not the case at all. There's actually so much that goes into it. You have to have an eye. You have to be a people person. You have to be able to handle a woman during an insanely stressful time in her life. Yes, our weddings, happy moments, they are, but there's a lot of family dynamics involved. There's a partner involved. There's a lot of components that come into play that make this much more complex than you'd think. And brides aren't always necessarily the most open and excited to be working with a stylist because most of the time they've never experienced working with a stylist and what it entails. So they're actually really nervous, can be standoffish, can be grumpy, moody. Yes, they can be excited. Yes, they can be happy to see you, but that's not always the case. There's a much larger picture at play. They can also be really sad because their mom or their father or perhaps a sibling that they wanted to share this moment with is no longer or is ill and they're rushing the wedding. And not to make this a really sad and gloomy topic, but these are real components that happen. So to be a wedding fashion expert, a stylist, to work within the wedding industry, face on with the client, it requires someone who, one, the emotional bandwidth and also the ability to read people because you have an hour that you work with a bride and you have to have the ability to understand who this person is, the fashion sense, what the wedding means to them. Are there deeper layers of family dynamics that are at play and maybe difficult that you need to help navigate for the bride? You have an hour to really understand who this person is, match them in a dress that's going to be the right fit for them for their wedding, and sell it to them essentially. But I don't look at it as selling a dress. I look at it as finding the dress. I look at it as creating a relationship with my bride. So this isn't about playing dress up. This isn't about selling a dress. This is about getting to know people. meeting them where they're at, bringing them joy, bringing them excitement, making them feel beautiful and confident in the most important article of clothing they'll ever wear. So when bridal stores are looking for people to hire, I mentioned that Lovella is looking for people who don't necessarily have training from another store or have been in the industry. And this is because at Lovella, we have a very specific way of doing things. And if you've been in the industry prior and worked in another bridal store, now we have to completely untrain you and train you the Lovella way. So this varies for every single bridal store that's out there. But we are looking for personable people, people who have received good customer service so they can give good customer service, right? We're looking for team players, and also, hate to break it to you, but nothing is above you, nothing can be beneath you. If there's something in the toilet that impacts your customer, your bride, the person that you're making a difference in, you gotta go clean what's in the toilet. I know that that's not ideal, but you really, like, even cleaning mirrors, dusting, there's so much that goes in to being a bridal stylist. So you're like, wait, am I a janitor now? Yeah, actually you kind of are. Like, we do everything, right? So from beginning to end, making sure, yes, do we have a cleaning crew that comes to the store? Absolutely. But as you have traffic come into the store, there are things that need to be touched up throughout the day. So you are really wearing many different hats. You can be the cleaning person that's cleaning up the dressing room, right? You are the therapist, the shoulder to cry on, to lean on, to laugh with, to smile with, to cry with. You are so many different things. You are a sister, a friend, a mother figure, an aunt figure, a dad figure, whatever it is in that moment that your bride needs, you are there to support them every step of the way. So essentially what I'm getting at is I'm trying to paint a picture here for you that's realistic to, one, for you to decide if this is even something, a leap that you want to take, because there is so much more involved than just playing dress up all day. Truly, there is so much that you need to learn in terms of designers, ship dates, what's available, what's not. If a bride buys an off-the-shoulder strap, she's going to be limited in arm movement. You need to be able to communicate that to her. You need to know all the things that happen on wedding day to be able to warn the bride, hey, if you buy a dress with an off-the-shoulder, you're going to be limited on mobility and you're not going to be able to raise your arms in the air like you just don't care for your reception. So there's a lot of components and things in which an inventory, product knowledge, industry-wide information that you need to learn. So the average stylist that comes to Lovella, and yes, some of our stylists have worked in other stores before, but we felt that they were a good fit, right? But we're ultimately looking for someone who doesn't have too much experience so we can train them our way. That being said, it could take up to 6 months before you're helping your first bride. Or if we see that you're doing really well, then it could be 3 months, right? So it just depends, but it does take months before you're able to know enough to have the product knowledge to be able to face the customer and to really give them the best possible experience, have the confidence, know what you're doing, and that way that it can be a win-win outcome for everybody involved. A win-win outcome for your efforts of being the best stylist that you can be, and a win outcome for the store and for the bride. So it becomes a win-win for everybody involved when you have the product knowledge, the expertise to go along with it. And yes, of course, we're human. Mistakes are going to happen, but you will learn from those mistakes and get better and better. Would I trade my job for anything in the world? Absolutely not. I love what I do. I feel like I get to make a difference and impact people in their life in a way that most people will never experience ever. It has taken me many, many years to get to the level and to the area in which I am today, but it was worth it. And just like everybody else, I started from the bottom and now I'm here. And I hope this inspired you to maybe take that leap and to apply to a bridal store, and knowing that maybe stores are looking for no experience in bridal previously, that's something that you do want to take the leap on now. Or maybe I painted the picture that this is not what you thought it was and you bow out, which I fully respect. This isn't what most people would assume. It's so much greater, in my opinion. I feel like there's so much fun to be had with it. But yeah, we do have to do the things that are not pretty, that are not gorgeous, that our customers see, that you're used to seeing, right? You see, say yes to the dress, you see all these things on TV and the way that it works, but like, that dressing room needed to be cleaned. So who did that? The mirrors needed to have no fingerprints on it. who did that. So there is so much more that goes into providing an exceptional experience for you, for your clients, for everybody involved. I hope that you found this video helpful. For more videos and tips like these, please be sure to tune in every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I will see you in next week's video.